welcome back to the podcast. It's nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Rich, for having me.
Why don't you just give us a couple of your update real quick of how you've transitioned from how this all started to where you're at today, because I'm excited to go over it. Let's just jump right into it. Thanks again for being here. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Rich. So yes, I was here with the books and some initiatives that I was doing in Nosara, and we're still working with the schools in Nosara. I'll get back to our local schools. And through this, I'm passionate about systemic change, changing things from the system. So I've been working with the Ministry of Education since 2019. We're partners. We signed a cooperation agreement, and we're helping them evolve the Eco Blue Flag program, which is a program that they've had for 20 years. And I know that program very well. And I also knew that it needed some revamping. So I said to them, why don't we merge one of our successful program called My Guardian Challenge with your Blue Flag program to make a true model for other ministries of education? And they said yes. So this 2025, we are doing a prototype pilot in the Guanacaste province. We have 457 schools participating, including all the schools in Nosara. And we're bringing technology so it's easier for the schools to participate, but also to measure impact. We're also doing gamification with eco challenges and eco points, and also a lot of collaboration among sectors, among schools, and training. So we're very excited of where this is going, because the idea is that this becomes a template that we're going to keep scaling. The idea is next year we're going to have it in another province. In the third year, we want to have it national. And with God's help, what we want is that after that, we can have it not only in Costa Rica, but in Central America, Latin America, and beyond. So our dream is that the Costa Rican education system becomes a model to the world of an education in harmony with nature, where not only do we protect nature from the schools, so the schools are the heart of this transformation, but we're also improving the quality of education for children. Because with nature, children learn by doing. If you do an edible garden, if you do pollinating gardens, if when you recycle, there's so many ways of embedding nature into the core of learning. And education systems have, since the Industrial Revolution, they're still influenced by this Industrial Revolution. And this means that we took nature out of the equation. We learn about nature, but we don't learn with nature. And if you step into a school in Costa Rica, or sometimes wherever in this globe, you find biological deserts. What does that mean? You find schools that don't have any plants that attract the butterflies and the bees and the pollinators. Or you find trash everywhere. So if you ask yourself, how are we ever going to improve? Like, what is happening in nature and the destruction of nature if we don't embed it into our core of learning? And that's what we're trying to do, is both have a healthier planet and improve education, and making nature a key ally, we believe is the way forward for education systems. So that's like the big picture. There's one more part. We're also working with the Ministry of Education and the National Forest Fund. We've been having several meetings of creating a payment for environmental services for schools. You're like, what is this? Well, Costa Rica was the #1 world deforester in the world. And we were the first country to reverse deforestation and have today 5% of the world's biodiversity. And how do we get there? You know, you can boil it down to 3 main things: policy, incentives, and making the farmers the key regenerative agents of our country. So we're trying to use the same the same knowledge and success of our history of our forests back to our schools. If we have policy, which Costa Rica already has policy on an education for sustainable development, if we use incentives, so we want to try to create a payment for environmental services to schools. And we make schools and school communities key regenerative agents. We believe we can replicate our success story with our forests to be a success story for our education system. And what we did as Costa Rica with our forests, other countries are copying our programs. And that's my dream is that we shift and like shake the status quo in education systems here in our country.
Okay, just real quick. So when you said payment, are you saying payment as in like as some sort of angle or some sort of extra tax? Are you saying payment the other way, as in schools receive funding and you have support? Like, what did you mean by that?
So yes, we're working so schools receive a payment for conserving nature, basically.
Whoa. So
Yes.
the gaming and the integration of everything that you're saying, it's actually coming back this way.
Yes, we are working not only with the Ministry of Education and the National Forest Fund. We have the support of big businesses like Dos Pinos. They are a big partner of us, and we want to keep creating the support of not only the private sector but also local governments, and just have everybody rowing in the same direction of having the Costa Rican schools be a model of education in harmony with nature. And the Blue Flag program is the vehicle.
Boy, you covered a lot of info up there. That was awesome. Thank you. You told me years ago you wanted Nosara to be a model for the world. How do you see it today as we sit here and record this now? I know you saw it then when you had your books and you're like, here's where we're going. Tell us how Nosara is the laboratory today from your perspective.
So the Nosara schools have really helped us understand the system, how the system works. What are the things that are not working? What are the things that are working? What are the leverages? So Nosara has taught us a lot of things. The Nosara schools, the Nosara principals, the supervisors, we've learned a lot. And we not only is Nosara like our lab where we're learning, we really want to make Nosara schools the model for Costa Rica. And as we work, as you think of Nosara, Nosara, attracts a lot of people that love nature, a lot of people that are givers, a lot of people that care. So I believe when you're working on whatever project you're working, you always want to work with fertile ground, right? And I believe Nosara is the fertile ground for this transformation. If you think, of the people that live here, the nature, and as we work with schools, what we want to do is take what we've been doing with the schools, and they've been a lab, we've been supporting them with some projects and learning and walking with them. But we want to take everything to the next level. What does this mean? We want to bring more volunteers to the schools to learn and to see how
Okay.
to learn about how our local kids actually go to school and how it's their experience. To bring volunteers and to improve our schools, but always with this sense of sustainability, of harmony with nature. So
Can our listeners do that on the volunteer front, just to clarify? Is there any specific category of volunteer you're looking for, or is it that the general populace can get involved?
Yes, so we're creating a chat for volunteers who want to help schools of Nosara. So this could be not only people or families, it could be the organizations. There's a lot of NGOs that are already working with schools, supporting them, but we want to concentrate all this, businesses. So this is an invitation for everybody. So we have that volunteer part. We also just launched a fundraising campaign to support all of this work, not only what we're doing in Nosara, but what this reflection is much larger for Costa Rica. And I want to come back to a specific example of the Serapio Lopez School. The Serapio Lopez School is the school that is in downtown Nosara. The Serapio Lopez School has had not very good leadership for a long time. And we've been supporting them, but things never really took off. Now we have an amazing principal, and leadership is everything. And she not only came to to reactivate everything. She's getting the parents and the teachers excited, and we want to support this. We want to just give her the shoulder as a community so she can thrive, so the kids can thrive, and so our community can thrive. So we're gonna do like a first deep intervention. We help that school create an edible garden structure, which the last school administration didn't. They use it but not very well. So now we want to revamp it. We want to revamp. We want to bring more pollinating gardens. They've been doing it, but we want to bring more pollinating gardens. One of their teachers the other day said to me, the pollinating gardens we planted the other day, I saw a hummingbird the other day and my heart filled. And this is what we want to do. We want to bring the nature that is around, we want to bring it to the school. She also wants to want to fix the entrance, because the entrance, when you go in there, it's like, is this even a school? It doesn't even feel like a school. So we want to help her. And this would be like our first invitation for all this support from the community, so everybody gets, when you come and do this intervention, everybody gets excited because you create momentum. So everybody's invited to become part of this chat of volunteers, where we're going to be posting um, you know initiatives that we're going to be doing at different schools. And also we have a campaign, a donation place, because everything needs resources and funding. That's also it's an airplane. You need the two wings. So it's an invitation for everybody to be part of one wing or the other, or even better, both.
So how do people get involved? Where do they go to raise their hands and jump in on this?
Yeah, so we're going to be putting a different community. We're going to create a chat where people can link to this chat and then start. That's where we're going to post things.
Is the chat like a WhatsApp group, or is that inside of social media, or?
That's going to be a WhatsApp group. That's just
Okay,
going to be
okay,
for our
okay.
community. And also the campaign. We have a link for the campaign where you can learn about what we're doing as well. Um, you can learn through it through our webpage, which is movimientoguardianes.org. You can learn through there. You can also contact me if you want to support. So, there's many ways. We're going to have a coordinator also helping me, because as I'm focusing on the macro level with the ministry and, the national players, we need support at the local level, so the lab, takes off in a way.
Are you comfortable being in the macro, or do you miss being in the micro? Or you just see the macro as just making so much ground? That's where God has you, per se, and that's just where you're at. But I also know you really like the connectedness of the relationships too. So personally, I guess, how do you feel about that right now?
I need both, because the macro level is where I want to help, um, where we want to help fix the root problems of the symptoms that we see with the local teachers and the local principals, and what are their pains. Like, it informs me. It not only informs us, it fuels us, because we see the challenges face to face.
Can you specify so that someone who could do either knows like what you actually need?
Yes. So, of course, everybody gives from their heart. Whatever their heart tells them, that's where they should go. So, yes, the hands, we need the action, the hands. When we ask for volunteers, for example, for the Serapio Lopez School, not only are we going to ask for volunteers, but we're going to have a list of things like, hey, and bring a pollinating plant, or bring paint, or bring a brush. This is the list of the things the school needs. So that's the things that people can help. Now,
Also bringing down for vacation renters. Let's make sure people listening to this know, if you're just coming down on a trip, you can bring stuff from that list and they can get on your chat group and keep posted with what the items are.
yes, and we're going to be continue working in close collaboration with the principals. So they always tell us what are their most urgent needs, and we can post them there so people can go and, and we can do that connection of them. Like I say, sometimes it's paint, sometimes our books, The principals know best. So that's from the Nosara side. Also, as we continue working on the macro level, if as we, we're very serious about making this work. I'm going to need more support in the team. The team has to keep building as we work not only in Costa Rica, but we want to expand this to the rest of Central America. We have an organization coming that works with schools in Honduras, Guatemala, and Salvador. And they're coming here in October to be part of the pilot. So next year, we hope to have schools in those regions as a small pilot of what this could work in Central America. So my message to people is when you're helping these schools in Nosara, just know that the impact is gonna expand. It's like when you throw a rock in a pond and you see these waves. That's what we want to do with anybody's support is how do we maximize your support? Because I always said, I'm co-founder of Del Mar. Del Mar cannot be an island. The schools in Nosara cannot be an island. Like this just has to expand. Like this spirit needs to expand throughout our globe, with the division, with everybody fighting against each other, with nature being destroyed. I think we show in Nosara that there's a different path. That when we collaborate is when we build things. Then that when we bring nature into the equation, it's health for everybody. So I do think that what is happening out there is not our destiny, it's choices, and that what we create here has ripple effects. And as the world is more and more connected, I have no doubt that having an incredible story that is born in Nosara is going to have ripple effects in the rest of the world.
I believe you. I used to not believe you as much as I do now, I guess is what I'm saying. It's working.
It's
I
a
do believe
process.
you. Hey, maybe all the dissension on the world and these are crazy times. Like the economy is actually down in Nosara. Nosara, a lot of people see construction and stuff, and that's all happening. But it's not that you see these big houses and all the money's just flowing in to solve all of our issues. And the people who are building the big houses, they want the nature to be there. That's part of what's in their head. They're trying to get their jungle getaway. I'm just hoping they can hear this message of what you're saying, because I think a lot of them would like to get back. They just don't know where. All the way down to the person who doesn't have any extra money, who's just visiting. I think they'd like to give back. So you're saying you have that all the way from any angle. Just
Yes.
track you down essentially and find out where it goes. And if it supplies, get involved in the chats, and the principal themselves can keep you updated. Serapio Lopez, what a great example. If that turns out to be the model for positivity that spreads in Costa Rica and beyond, imagine that compared to the years of challenges those parents and students and the whole communities went with.
It's a bigger school. It has more than 500 students. A lot of vulnerable children go to this school. So Serapio Lopez is it's the heart of the community, and we hope that. We're not only working with that school, but that's where we want to start because it's in the downtown of Nosara. It's the biggest school, and it has fertile ground. So yes, it's. We hope
the whole story from jail cell being right by there used to be looking at changing the entryway to getting hummingbirds to get a garden. That's wildly encouraging.
The principal has this beautiful vision to make the jail actually part of a little museum to tell the story of Nosara, and I think that's so beautiful to show how we change it. And then she wants to do a museum, and then she wants to have books and a little library. So how we turn things, and yes, Nosara right now has there's less people. The town is quiet, which affects a lot of people. Also, the Ministry of Education's budget for schools is at the lowest. But Richa, I'm a big believer that when things are down, it's the best time to transform things. So I think this is that time for that transformation. Like with the biggest challenges comes with the biggest opportunities. And who doesn't like comebacks? So I want to show Costa Rica, as the education system is down, that we can have a big comeback. And the only way to have a comeback is through collaboration. There is no other way. We need radical, deep collaboration among generations, sectors, cultures. And as there's this growing bad sense of gentrification, I would love to turn that around. Why do we have to make this a negative? What if we can show in Nosara that when people that come as foreigners to because they love our country and they actually roll their sleeves to help this country and their community, it can be a real positive because we need everybody here. So as we work in this, there's many spin-offs of the positive replication of this, and it all comes down to collaboration and serving your community.
Can you give us all some guidance on that?
Well, as you see the world, if you just open your eyes and see the world, there's this there's this sense of division. Everything's divisions. You against me. You against me. And I believe that's so destructive for for every level of humanity is destructive. And I think the solution for that division comes back to collaboration and knowing that everybody plays a part. For example, if you think that businesses are a problem for environmental conservation, you know, that's not that is something that is not going to help you. If you see everybody plays a role, when you see everybody playing a role in building a community or building a country, then that collaboration among all those players and all those voices is what our strength is. And
That's the only solution.
it's the
Is
only one.
it's not the government. It's not sending all the foreigners away. Just embracing everyone as soon as they come in. Hey, great. I'm here. You're here too. That's great. Just know you're part of the solution. Come on, pick any angle, fall into it. But once someone's there yelling at them or being like, well, I've been here longer, I just don't think, I think mentality, we need to turn the page on that.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody is, when there's I love the saying, when there's a will, there's a way. That's one. And also that serving wherever you are, serving your
Mm.
community. If we're talking about Nosara, is what it's gonna truly transform. And people do as people see. As we tell the story of Nosara and how we're working together through the destruction of nature to restoring it through the division and collaboration, as we tell the story, but not tell it, show it. This is going to be an inspiration.
Well, the schools, you're bringing up some memories right now. Remember when recycling was such a foreign radical concept getting started, and then you explained the process. You're like, Rich, it's a couple years later after it had gotten momentum and whatnot, you explained it. You were like, it's the kids. Am I right in understanding in my memory of that?
The kids, they're bringing this to their parents. So whatever we teach at that school, if they're seeing collaboration, if they're seeing nature being taken care of, this is I call children intergenerational educators. I think they have a lot more influence in parents than we give them credit. And for example, with environment, people say, "Oh, it's romantic idea to use kids to conserve nature," and I say, "No, it's not a romantic idea. It's the best strategy our planet has. Not only because children are intergenerational educators, but they aggregated in education systems by ministries of education. So if you tackle ministries of education, you have billions of children, of people, of youth having influence on parents. And kids, I know, have influence on how parents operate their home. They have influence on how parents even operate their businesses. And I've seen it, and I have concrete examples about this. So it is not a romantic idea. It is our best strategy.
As always, thank you. Wow, this is amazing. What a great conversation. All right, so let's do the recap. What do you want people to walk away from this knowing, and what course of action, and then other jokes or good ideas that you have to share?
So, you know, you're invited to collaborate. It could be with guardians and natures in the schools, but there's many other organizations in this town that are doing amazing things. So my invitation is lend a hand, collaborate where you can, either with resources or volunteering. That's number one. Two, let's make Nosara schools the living lab for the world. And you're welcome to be part of this. And three, I believe, well, for me, it's very important. I cannot do all this without faith. I my faith is in God and His support. I cannot do everything that we're doing with knowing that we're supported in this journey, and it's all about, you know, loving people that are here. Our journeys here. We sometimes forget that life is short, and we think we have it forever. No, we have a finite life, and let's give back. Let's make the place where we are, wherever we are, a little better for the people around us and for the people coming. So that would be my last message.
Thank you for being you. The community as a whole, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich, for having me. Thank you so much for all the support and for bringing the voices to your podcast.